Jimmy. What's gonna happen to me today?
I don't know.
It's like my graduation today?
Yeah.
Say it.
Say what?
Lost Barb. What day is today, Barb?
June 5th.
Well,
1994. Lisa's graduation.
press the date button there and it'll show it on there.
Hi, Mom!
A little button.
The date time one?
Where's
Right here?
one? Huh?
This one?
Yeah. That'll show your date.
Ah.
Do you have it light enough for in here?
How do you get rid of that then?
What?
The
Press
date.
it. Press
Oh.
it twice.
Okay. There's my cap and
Hey,
gown.
Lisa, come here a minute.
Okay.
Get Mom's lion's ears.
Water.
This is Jimmy. His graduation cap for when he graduated from preschool.
I'll let you know, okay?
Alright.
You don't mess with this.
How are you gonna get this?
When it's time to take a picture this way, I got 5 days. This is where you touch.
Oh, Mom, I want to set it.
It's already set.
Oh.
Yeah, Karen's been up there.
Where is Lisa?
Yeah, it's coming in real good.
You know what the embarrassing part is?
What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do?
I refuse to touch that one.
Oh, I don't know.
Hi, Mom.
I can't see.
There's Sheila. There's Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
Over there.
Oh, they're cheating us.
Grandpa,
Huh.
that boy, it looks like a girl.
me. Don't bump me. Not yet. Somebody had punched there.
Yeah, I see now. I can see where it's at got the horn.
Parents, friends, family, teachers, administration, distinguished guests, and fellow classmates. Welcome to the happiest day of the class of 1994. As we graduate class of 94, we have so much more to look forward to. No longer as a class, but as individuals. For some of us, college, for others, full-time jobs. Even though we are going our separate ways, we have made friendships that will last forever. We have shared good times, crazy times, and even a few rough times. But we've come through it all. No matter how much time goes by, if we are together or not, the friendships we have made at Columbia will always be someone special. We don't know where our lives are leading us, who we may or may not see again, but we will always remember the times we've spent together as a class of 94. And so, as president of this class, I welcome all of you here today, and thank you for being part of this important milestone in each of our lives. Thank you.
Look, my flash going bad.
Fellow graduates, teachers, parents, friends. Greetings and good
It
afternoon.
looks like it's going bad.
Life is like an elephant. Enormous and wild to the child who first experiences it, yet plain and ordinary to the keepers who daily care for it. Ask one what he thinks of the elephant, and he'll tell you it's amazing. Ask another, she'll tell you that this bird they care for doesn't smell very well. Perhaps the following two will provoke your outlook on life, convince you of what life is all about. There was 6 men, a video stand, regarding much inclined. When to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each shoot by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against its broad, sturdy side, and once began to fall. God bless me, but the elephant is very like a wall. The second feeling of the tusk cries, "Oh, what have we here? So very round, smooth and sharp, to me is mighty clear. This wonder of an elephant is very like a spear." The third approached the animal, and happening to take, swimming from within his hands, both of his spade. "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a snake." The fourth reached out an eager hand, and held up the game. "What most this wondrous beast is like, is mighty plain," quoth he. "It is clear enough the elephant is very like a tree." The fifth who chanced to approach here, that even the blindest man can tell what this resembles most. Not in fact you can, this marvel of an elephant is very like a fan. The sixth no sooner had begun the mousy beast to grow, then, seizing on its winging tail that fell within his scope, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a rope." And so they spent a bit of stand, disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, seeming stiff and strong, but each was hardly perfect, and all would be wrong. What is life to you? As unique individuals develop different definitions, different perspectives. As young aspiring youth, we in a graduating class have an inexperienced but not a passionate view of life. On the other hand, there are those of you who are older, more experienced, and once were as we are today, but perhaps have lost the passion for this life they once knew. However, none of these views are totally correct. Say it again. Life is like an elephant. As the one child who sees the elephant for the first time never forgets to awe and amaze him. So we should hold on to life with living wonder and curiosity. Like the keepers who feed and water the elephant, who have experienced the elephant, who have learned about the elephant. So we too should look at life and learn and listen and grow wise. And as the elephant would not live without the keeper, and the keeper not without the elephant, so we cannot live life fully when we discover the balance of wisdom and curiosity. Now I'd like to pray. Dear Father God, I thank you that you brought us this far, and I thank you for all you did for us. And as now as we go off in our separate ways here, thank you guys, just let us have your perspective for us. Let us have your perspective.
Here, Jimmy. Jimmy.
What we do really
Jimmy,
does matter.
take this.
Lord, just ask you to bless this class as we go over today.
I need your tissue.
What?
Good afternoon, fellow graduates, faculty, students, and parents, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I would like to take this time and thank my parents, my family, my friends, teachers, and especially God, for the love and support given to me throughout my years in high school and throughout my life. I guess I can stand up here today and recite a speech containing customary graduation speech phrases such as, "We all have determination in our hearts, ready to travel steadfast into the future," or something pertaining to life and how I must be prepared to face the many challenges that lie ahead. But that type of speech wouldn't reflect the class that sits before you here today, nor do I believe I'm qualified enough to preach to my fellow graduates about what to expect in life. So, what I've decided to do is tell you a little about the Columbiana High School class of 1994 and why I'm proud to be a part of it. As you can see, we're a small class of only about 70 or 71. But size doesn't matter, because we've given so much of ourselves to the school, to are a group of individuals who not only succeed in academics and athletics, but are also friends who stand behind one another. And in leaving high school, if we've learned anything, we've learned how to be supportive. When I look at this class, I see many things. I see a bunch of screaming fans running onto basketball courts and football fields. I see diligent students making sure they get the grades they deserve. And I see driven athletes practicing for hours on end. And I see caring friends always lending an ear to listen. But we must remember we could not have achieved all we have to become the individuals we've become without our parents. And on behalf of the class, I would like to thank you, parents, for all the hard work you've done. The reason we are such a great class is because of your dedication and love, never letting us down, and always standing behind us. After today has ended, and several years later, we'll remember how close we all were. In fact, all we will have is memories. We are a class of close friends, but that special bond we have begins to disintegrate as the years go on. And because of this, we must always remember the remarkable experiences high school has given us. We will have our own special memories from high school. No matter what they may be, they are sure to give us a feeling of great pride, because we all are compassionate, intelligent individuals who have realized the importance of an education and the necessity of being a good friend. Thank you very much.
researcher and technical director of Shoemaker-Levy-Jupiter project, located in the Department of Physics at the University of Maryland in College Park. On July 16th, a series of collisions from a disintegrating comet began striking Jupiter, and our speaker is the director of the project to measure such collisions. He is the retired chief scientist of the Rockwell Power Systems on Maui, senior research associate in the Department of Physics at the University of Maryland, a staff member of the Automatic Photoelectric Telescope Service, Airborne Observatory, and Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory in Mount Hopkins, Arizona. He is the author of several dozen papers and technical reports and patents. Most recent have dealt with remote automatic telescope systems for ground and space applications in the astrophysics of variable and cataclysmic star systems. Frequent participant in international conferences on astronomical telescope and instrument design as organizer, session developer, and speaker. He is a 1946 graduate of Columbiana High School. He received his Bachelor of Science in Physics and Astronomy in 1949 and his Master of Science in Physics at Ohio State in 1958, and his Doctorate in Astronomy at the Ohio State University in 1969. He has done postdoctorate study in solar physics at the University of Florence in Florence, Italy, and graduate study in computer engineering at Cal State Northridge from 1981 to 1983, and also at George Mason University in 1984. He has studied German, Italian, French, Russian from 1970 to 1980 at Wright State University. He is a Columbiana boy made good. I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Kenneth E. Kissel.
Good afternoon to all of you, distinguished members of the school board, faculty, Columbiana High School, mothers, fathers, relatives, and friends of this band of young graduates here. I think I've never been in this auditorium. It was built after the glorious basketball teams of my era, the middle 40s. Actually, I've been looking forward to perhaps being in the Parsons team, but got switched. One of my memories of early service to CHS was the running of an old football scoreboard that was in the shape of a football that we actually built here in the shops, carried out dozens of us down in Spring Street, installed it down there, and then we would run it by putting up the numbers behind whenever the score changed. Perhaps the scoreboards here ought to be turned on, because for the class of '94, it's the last minute of the last quarter, and our team of Clippers is making a conversion from seniors to alumni. And they'll look back on these things, as the previous student speakers have pointed out. When I was first asked by your principal, Mr. Wagner, to speak at the ceremony, my reaction was immediate and skeptical. What could I have to say the real meaning or importance to a group of young women and young men who have grown up in a small town, Midwestern Ohio, Midwestern United States, half a century after my own childhood and teenage experiences? Things are vastly different at the close of the 20th century. And even though I had grown up here in this same town and experienced some of the same surroundings, well, Dick Wagner actually gave me several weeks to think about it, then made a formal invitation. I hope that for your sake, that I made the right choice to accept it. Actually, when I left Columbiana, within a few weeks after graduation, I was back home for a couple of summers working night shift, almost back.
Do you have pencils here?
Have what?
I went off to pursue science as a field of study.
I can't hear you.
And as a
Do you have a pencil here?
Mm-mm.
Did you bring
almost
one?
always
I don't.
I've been working on projects which I would do even if they didn't pay me. My connection to my hometown, however, and CHS continued through my late parents. Last of them died less than 10 years ago. young sister-in-law, Marla, who live here in town, and have sent 4 of my nephews to the same ceremony. There may be more epistles yet to stand up here on the stage to graduate. A more severe disconnect to the biggest little town in Ohio, which is what Columbiana used to be known as. I don't know what it is now. But it was when the Columbiana Ledger, I think, folded and I stopped getting clippings. They used to publish some of my photographs. And I had worked there briefly as a printer's devil, helping out whatever work. But let's talk about the students, not about me. They are the ones who were together here to celebrate. Collectively, what is this class of 94? Well, not having grown up here, I haven't watched them on the streets, but the statistics seem to be we have a group, my tally was 69 young adults, perhaps half of them already of voting age, and use your vote. This is why you have it. All of them are teaming to get on with life. In what has to be a statistical quirk, only 29 undergraduates are women. We presume that one of the fundamental principles of physics or biology, something where when something happens as a quirk over here, it's balanced out over there, that the present junior and sophomore classes must abound in young women, either that or because of very fierce competition voted in the dating arena during the last years. The predominance of young men might, however, work to the favor of Clifford's representation in the called boys or male or men's tri-county sports competition. I can only I bring it as a sort of sexist topic because it was the boys' basketball team, 45 to 47, went to the state finals, and perhaps the one time in school history. The class of 94 has been enriched by the presence of 2 exchange students. One from Finland, country with long winters and white nights, and one from Mexico, Ole. My limited experience with these 2 countries, from which I have a number of valued astronomical colleagues, is that there could scarcely be a greater contrast. In climate, in language, Finnish is reputed to be one of the most difficult languages to learn in the world, and in temperament. It must have been a marvelous experience for the entire class, as well as for the exchangees. I hope the exposure to the people, values, quite different climate of the Midwestern U.S. would be with much benefit to the exchange students, as it must have been the injection of their new ideas and points of view to the host families and to their classmates. This concept and the mechanism for exchange students simply didn't exist in the 1940s, at least in the public schools. But more comparisons and contrasts to the class of 46 is on my point. My recollection is that the only foreign-born student in my class here at Columbiana was a pre-World War II Polish refugee who later moved and graduated to the Fairfield School System. I don't believe that he was ever encouraged to talk about his life in Poland prior to coming here. Perhaps we should reflect back on what life was in Poland in the early 40s. Now the stuff which Academy Award-winning films are made of. The student class, I'll comment on the mix of foreign students and American students will change drastically for those of you who are going into the colleges. In Maryland at the present time, some 25% of the undergraduate class are foreign-born, and more than 50% of the graduate students. And they are tough competition because they really got the habit of studying.
should get
while
done.
your guidance counselor tells me that 60 to 70% of you will continue your formal education. In 46, we had a similar 70 markets. There are a lot of mean streets out there. The better prepared you are, the easier life will be. Each of you, though, must find his or her own way. Whatever your current plans and expectations, your plans for field of study, for an upcoming marriage, perhaps your sweetheart, near future, join the military, the likelihood is that some aspect of those plans will end up changing because life changes, health changes, families evolve in ways that we cannot anticipate. Some of you will stay or return to Columbiana to pursue your adult life, as did perhaps one half of the class of 46. And others will find yourself living and working in completely different ethnic, cultural surroundings. This may happen even though you don't take a job with some company with their overseas operations. You may find yourself in some other city, Los Angeles, where lifestyle, food, characteristics are different. But you may find yourself, discovering yourself underneath with one of some minority. You find yourself trying and enjoying things that aren't common to Columbiana County. I think foods and some of the things. I had the opportunity to shift from Ohio to California. It took me something like 9 months before I could really start thinking like the local people around me. The more open and observant you are to this diversity of culture, the richer will be your adventure in life. Now I note that your valedictorian who gave a very nice speech a few moments ago is a woman, despite the unbalanced male-female numbers, and as I understand it, going on to a great school, Ohio State. At least the two top students have better than 4.2 grade point averages. Well, the concept of honors courses in grades above A didn't exist in 1940, so one could only have a 4 point. Those of us who were academics, not athletes, were not uncommonly denigrated by the jocks and by the coach. There's a self-important male chauvinist who apparently enjoyed calling me by an insulting nickname at every opportunity. Some years later, I was actually invited to a retirement dinner, a testimonial for him. I often wished that I had actually sent to him a manure-stuffed football, which I had carefully prepared with material from our local writing team. Well, this brings up some discussion of faculty and teachers and past teachers and roles in life. I can't remember this coach's name, but I do remember those caring teachers who allowed me, encouraged me to learn beyond the minimum expectations. John Barker, who taught science, especially biology, I suppose he knew, we all called him Froggy, not to mistake, was one such teacher. There was also an excellent math teacher who counseled me on what to expect in college. You will each have your own set of role models for those thought-provoking words. I stand to recognize the class of 1994 for their accomplishments and their achievements. I won't recite what Dr. Kissel has so eloquently referred to and reminded us of all that you are a class of accomplished persons and a group of young people who do care very much about each other. To help me in this recognition of you, though, I would like to ask members of the faculty, representatives of the 3 buildings of the school district to stand briefly and share at the moment of recognizing you. From the middle school, Principal Rod Berger. From Dixon School, Ruth Walker. From the high school, Darla Sainer, Suzanne Floss, Mary Caffro, Marcia Cornell,
Lowell Bacon, Lori Concert, and your principal, Richard Wagner. These faculty members and administrators share with me in recognizing you for the fine accomplishments of this class. You have accomplished a great deal, and the least of which is not the fact that you are the first class in Ohio to be required to complete a proficiency test provided by the state for graduation, and that all members of the class have accomplished that. At this point, an honor that only about a fifth of the high schools in Ohio can state, and I'd like to applaud you for that effort at this time. You were a test group in that process, and we learned a great deal, and those who follow you are probably going to have an easier time of it than many of you did. We hope that's true. Thank you, faculty and administration, for standing with me, and students, welcome to the alumni group. As Dr. Kissel said, as you leave this ceremony, you are now having a title. You will be alumni of Columbiana High School, and that group, I'm sure, will welcome you. Thank you very much.
What's happening, Mom?
On behalf of the class of 1994, I present to you the official class roll of the 1994 graduates of Columbiana High School. The tradition of Columbiana High School is now 14 years strong. In presenting you with this class roll, the class of 1994 turns over to you the responsibility for continuing the standards of excellence of Columbiana High School, both in academic achievement and competitive spirit. As president of the class of 1995, it will be your responsibility to lead and guide your classmates through the most exciting and rewarding high school year. The class of 1994 wishes you the best throughout the coming year and charges you with preserving the traditions of the past years.
On behalf of the class of 1995, I accept the official class roll of the 1994 graduates of Columbiana High School. I accept the challenge as president of the class of 1995. To achieve the high standards of academic excellence, artistic ability, and athletic achievement demonstrated by the class of 1994. It is my sincere wish that all members of the class of 1994 find success and happiness throughout their lives together. Would Mr. Gustafson and Mr. Stiller please step to the lectern for the presentation of the class of 1994. As high school principal, I certify that the young men and women gathered here before you, the Columbiana High School class of 1994, having met individually and collectively the requirements of the state of Ohio, the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, and the Columbiana Exempted Village Board of Education, are now presented to you, Mr. Gustafson, as president of the Columbiana Exempted Village Board of Education, for issuance of their diplomas. Thank you, and good afternoon to all of the students, graduates, and families that were able to attend. Before I start, I would like to recognize the board members able to attend today for the ceremony. Dr. Thomas Crown and Paulette Lamont. And also I'd like to thank Dr. Kissel for taking the time out of his busy schedule to come back and speak to us. I'm sure this town has changed quite a bit since he's been here. And also, I'd like to thank the senior class. What Mr. Stiller had recognized is Thursday, our representative from the state board had come to recognize this class as being one of a few that has had 100%
Yeah.
An explanation. Any
You
blame
want to
for
get it?
that particular
I don't know how to
won't
do it.
be.
All you got to do is just
Second,
watch. It's locked off over
although this
here.
is a moment of
See the button?
congratulation
Got the
and
gate over it
celebration,
so it won't
it should
shut it
also be a
off.
moment of remembrance. For some of
You
us,
just put your hand there and
some
hold
of
it.
you, tomorrow is the 50th anniversary
It's
of
all the way
D-Day
in
landing.
now. This one takes it out. This one brings it in.
All should
What
serve
do you mean,
that
Junior?
time.
Wait a minute. Let's get this out.
And as you leave, it might be appropriate to remember that.
This one will take it back up.
We
This
have
one
lost
zooms
people
it in.
that I'm aware of this year. Crystal Blake, Derek, and a member of the Columbiana High School class of 1994, Christopher Thomas McClish. It would be appropriate to remember that. And finally, there have been some traditions at Columbiana High School that have stayed the same. There are some to the ceremony that are changing.
Figure out how that works.
I would like to begin a tradition that the commencement speaker be a Columbiana High School graduate. There are enough good people out there that I think we can take from that group to bring back to us that which they have learned. Second is that the cover of the program for many years has been designed by a previous graduate. I would like each year for the cover to be designed by a member of the graduating class. As a chance to show that side of life, that side of their abilities. And third, for some time in these commencement ceremonies, seniors have been handed blank diplomas. They've been handed blank packets. They left the gymnasium or the field to pick up packets in which their diplomas were contained. I think that began for some miscreants in the past and has continued into the future. I've changed that. These folks are receiving their diplomas here. It's a statement from the staff of the fine job they have done and the pleasure they work with. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. You may not believe this, but they've been pretty tense back here. There's been no champagne bottles passed back and forth. Lighten up. Will the first row please rise? Autumn Dawn Howell. Brandy Renee Paul. Amy Jo Barnhouse. Jessica Catherine Knight. Heidi Renee Comer. Shannon Irene Ventura. Jeremy Logan Gerard. Ronald Anthony Cover. Joseph Eli Ludwig. Ross Clifton Klein. Kevin Donald Finley. Chad Andrew Rupert. Jason Douglas Hall. Jason Allen Watson.
Heather Marie Caldrell. Lisa Marie Donnelly.
Congratulations, Lisa, from your grandfather.
Bethlehem Ford. Shannon Lee Pemberton. Sheila Brandon Killeen. Maria Elena Ati.
Jumpy as hell. This is going to be jumpy as hell.
Douglas Coe.
Why do you have to do that?
Jeffrey Richard Moffitt.
Should have brought my tripod.
Why do you have to do that? I don't know.
Raymond Patrick Mulhall. Bruce Edward Polisky. John Allen Rapp. Thomas Allen Rice. Daniel William Denny. Tobin Powell Bacon. Ronald Joseph Buchari II. Daniel Patrick Callis. Danielle Lynn Lewandowski. Molly Jean Blake. Tracy Lynn Kay.
Hey, Tracy! Way to go, Blondie.
Jennifer Christine Kale. Shannon Marie Oler. Alicia Marie Blanchard. Slight pause for the readjustment of our ability to take photographic images.
Can I do this? Can I do this? I'm getting shaky.